It had been pitch black wherever he had found himself, with no sound to subdue the darkness. He was quickly running low on air, something that began to set a panic inside of him. However, the entire room was illuminated in bright light just then, taking him by surprise and forcing him to squint his eyes shut. When they eventually adjusted to the light, he found himself in an incredibly large room that appeared larger than needed. Of course, when Marcus realized he was still in the room with the creature, he knew it was likely the appropriate size. The creature's leg dangled in front of him, causing him to trace his eyes up the leg to find the rest of the creature, which was being clamped into some sort of device. In a glimpse of hope, Marcus vaguely made out the outline of what appeared to be a door. Without wasting any time, he swam to the door quickly, turning the wheel on the door to unlock it. It shot directly up, allowing Marcus to pull himself straight from the water. He gasped and panted heavily while he searched around him, utterly confused as to what, and where exactly he was, and what had happened. He appeared to be in some sort of a dry chamber, an observation room to look into the large tank next to him. Luckily, it had breathable air. He brought his dripping body to his feet, wiping his face clean and taking a minute to catch his breath. In front of him was a large window that looked into the tank the creature was being held in. He stared at it in amazement, but chose not to stare for too long when he noticed its eyes still darting about in its head. However, he could not help but notice that something appeared to be different about it. The way its eyes moved. It was as if it wasn't moving them of its own volition. Curiously, he examined the creature much more and noticed that its body was very odd, even for a reptile. Marcus was entirely unsure of what he had been staring at. But he knew it was not anything that any scientists on Earth had discovered. That being said, he knew the creature had to possess some kind of a master or a group that controlled it. Its movements were far too calculated for it to simply be a force of nature. He refused to believe it made all its decisions entirely on its own. And that is when the voice came to him, the voice that confirmed his suspicions.